Commissioner Joe DeLuca,
Here.
Commissioner Al Ramirez,
Present.
Commissioner Luke Stempien,
Here.
City Manager Craig Horton is here. Attorney Robert Siebert is not here. DPW Superintendent Ed Priest.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you everyone for coming. I understand we have an addition to the agenda, is that correct? So where would that go?
New business? Yes.
So this is going to be the,
Resolution 2025-20.
in F, I'm sorry, 10F. And this is, from, why is this not pulled up?
Social district.
Because you just handed it to me. It's the same as the other one.
Okay, so, yep, it's a social district, permit, and this is for Sippin, Michigan.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so we have 10F is the addition. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda with the addition.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we have the approval of consent agenda items, including 3 different DDA sets of minutes and Parks and Rec sets of minutes. Any questions for Craig? Okay, would anyone like to make a motion?
I move we accept the consent agenda with all the minutes, as well as the payments of $262,875.75.
Is there a second?
Support.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Davis,
Yes.
Cannis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next we have citizens from the floor. If anyone would like to come up and talk to us and tell us what you're thinking. As I said before, this is not a time for us to have a back and forth with you. It is for us to listen to what you have to say. We will set a timer. If you go over 3 minutes, I'll let you go over a little bit to finish your thought. But in general, we're going to try to keep it at that. So would anyone like to come up and speak? Ted, would you like to come up?
Nobody else? I don't want to step in front of anybody because, okay, all right, I appreciate that. Madam Mayor, Commissioner, I appreciate your time, and I apologize for jumping in here in the citizens from the floor section instead of, what do we call it?
Guest speaker.
Guest speaker.
But I need to just give you just a couple pieces of information, and unfortunately I have to leave. I attended the Lapeer County EMS board meeting this morning, Finance Committee and the full board meeting, and the short of it is, we are fully handling the entire county. 100% of the calls are going through Lapeer County EMS. Billing revenues are up. Expenses, as you might imagine, are up as well because it costs more to operate more, right? So we're working through those things, and they're all on track for what was expected. New ambulance has been delivered. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. State budget was passed. You probably all heard that.
What wasn't in it?
Hmm?
What wasn't in it?
What wasn't in it? Well, what's interesting is the shenanigans that get pulled when the sun goes down, because there was a text from one of our representatives the evening before that said, one, it's in there, y'all, because there's 30 different ambulance services around the state that are out of money. $6 million as a total. So Russ went to bed very happy. He woke up the next morning, which was the 3rd of October, to his phone blowing up that it was not in the budget. And in fact, he got on the phone with Jamie, and she didn't even know that they had pulled it out at the last moment. So really, really bad. So it's gone. State's not gonna reimburse the EMSs all around the state, or the hospitals, and there's, there's scuttlebutt as to where different pressures came from, but none of that's relevant at the moment. So I just want to tell you that we're out, we in Lapeer County, $185,000. The current company that's handling those payments for the prisons are current, and then they're paying well, and all of that is good. So moving forward, we're in a good position, but unfortunately, we'll never see that. The state is suing that company that they gave all our money to, but that'll be pennies on the dollar years down the road, and we won't see anything out of that. So I apologize for bringing kind of a mixed bag of news, but I wanted to at least let you know what the highlights from the meeting this morning, and we'll have another meeting in a month, and we're starting budget talks, and negotiations have started. Things are going well. And I'll give you a report back next month on those. Okay, any questions for me at the moment?
How much
Sure.
damage has that 185 done to us?
Well, the good news is, Russ Adams is actually pretty conservative fiscally, so we've got some cushion. We're not losing people, we're not losing equipment, we're not keeping things, maintained and all of that, so we're in a good position, but $185,000 is a lot of salary, it's a lot of equipment, it's a lot of gasoline.
$50 is $50.
$50 is $50, that's exactly right, and $185,000 is $185,000.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Can we pressure the state to do something in the future? Maybe, but this round we lost. So it's unfortunate, but the good news is we're on track with the current people, and
You could force us to raise millage?
well, those monies begin rolling in early next year. So, and we're on track, we're fine, we're okay, we're not bleeding, but by any means, so that's all good. The kicker is $185,000 is a lot of money. And when the prison calls 911, there's a legal responsibility to respond. Doesn't matter if you pay or not. So, that's, of course we go. Somebody's in trouble, we go. That's what neighbors do, right? But you gotta keep the lights on.
Can't we
too.
send MedStar?
Any other questions that I will address or ignore?
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate your time, I apologize, I gotta scoot, but if you need something, I'll have them.
So our ambulance service is the only one in the county? MedStar is no
Well,
longer in the meds?
MedStar's here, but they're primarily just doing transfers out of their own hospital. But we don't have a terrible relationship, so if we had a problem, if we had a mass casualty event, not only would our mutual aid agreements work out of the other counties, but they would help us. It's not a terrible relationship. So, that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, appreciate
Good
it.
to see you.
Have a good night, y'all.
Okay. Next, we need, Ed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'm here to update the commission on some things we got going on, new and old. City Hall improvements, the exterior improvements. I will be recommending final payment later in the meeting. There were some issues during construction. As far as like this entrance, the 6x6 posts were rotten, needed to be replaced, along with the existing concrete slab was not supported in the center, and some courses of the block foundation needed to be repaired, and the steel supporting the existing slab was rotted and thin, not strong gauge steel that needs to be replaced. Also, much of the freeze board around the building was rotted and needed to be replaced during construction. We are currently finalizing the bid documents for the interior improvements, which will be going out for bid soon, and hopefully those improvements will take place over the winter. Safe Routes to School program, the map of the students' homes, travel tallies, student survey, parent survey, and initial walk, bike, and bowl event have been completed. The surveys, along with information collected from the Safe Routes to School team, the walking, biking audits will be taken into consideration during the development of the Family City Schools team action plan, and will also be needed for supporting documents when the Safe Routes to School major grant application is pursued. All the surveys and data that are collected in the process will coincide with completing the design of our pathway and sidewalk improvements that are currently being designed as part of our Michigan Health Endowment Fund grant. The Poly and Trailhead improvements, DNR Trust Fund grant, we strengthened our application before the October 1st deadline. We included more of a complete concept and many more letters of support. We anticipate hearing about funding for that this month or in November. The 10-hour day work week, we went back to the 5-day, 8-hour work week at the beginning of October. From productivity and morale, the 10-hour work day was a huge success. There was only 2 minor issues on Fridays that needed to be addressed, and one of them could have been avoided with just some more communication. We've already talked internally about doing it next year, but there's the possibility, and the crew's on board with possibly having two people on staff on Fridays and then 3 on staff on Mondays. Because typically Mondays and Fridays are, we perform our routine duties or catch up, where then the 3 days in the middle of the week where our whole group is there is when we typically do our projects. I think that would even be more beneficial. Lead water service line replacement. The DPW replaced 12 lead service lines this summer, and we physically verified every single service on Main Street. With that, there's still be 16 services that need to be replaced on Main Street. There's also 146 service lines that need to be verified on other streets. Although I don't think all of them are going to be lead, but probably 75 to 100 of them probably will be. Over the winter, I'll be working on a bid to have a contractor, work on a bid for a contractor to verify the rest of them. With the 16 more service lines we have to place on Main Street, we wouldn't have the time or the resources to spend the time verifying the rest of them. And the goal is to have no unknowns, so that when we have no unknowns, we have a better chance of receiving federal funding. Just because the EPA doesn't want to typically give us funding for unknowns. So it's more important to get those known, that way we can plan fiscally better also. East Cape Hack Water Main Extension. This project has been in the works for quite some time. It originates from the seller of Johnny's Place, is responsible to the buyer to provide an appropriate amount of fire protection of the building. Options were investigated. The most viable option presented by the developer's engineer is to extend the public water main from about Main Street to Johnny's Place, which is on the north side of old Cape Hack Road, and it'd be about 212 feet to Johnny's Place, and then they would tap to that and put a fire line, the appropriate size line to the building for a fire line. We have the Eagle permit. The project's good to go. We're just waiting on the contractor for.
Didn't we talk about November 1st, something like that?
Yeah, November 1st, possibly starting. It'll only take about a week project and the restoration, but the contractor still needs to give us references, which was supposed to be the next day after we kind of had a pre-construction meeting. But once that water main is installed and that fire line is, that business is, the door is ancient to open. New dump truck with snow equipment. I previously reported that we ordered a new dump truck over a year ago. It's in the process of being built and completed. It should be here before the end of November, so hopefully before the first major snow, we'll have the new truck in service. Curbside leaf pickup started this week. It will go on through the end of November. Mondays, north side, Tuesday, south side. First week was a success so far. Some bids I'll be working on over the fall and winter are project for a new pickup truck. I budgeted for the last several years for a cold storage building at our salt shed yard, probably a 40 by 60 pole building. Now that the old DPW is under its construction, we need to move forward. We've kind of outgrown our facility. We need some cold storage, just so that There's many things sitting outside. Pavement markings bid, I'll be working on that. Pavement improvements, I had budgeted for Metcalf Street, South Elma, between Borland and Newark, and Main Street. Might have to put Main Street off another year because by the time we replace all the water services, I don't think it'll be time, we'll have enough time, and we can, we can budget something else or replace that street with another street. Like East Borland between Elma and 53 needs some attention. The service line verification bid I'll be working on also. And then we also need to, it's kind of overdue a bit, so we've got to replace, not rebuild the altitude valve and the control valve of the Vlasic Tower. They're original, they've never been rebuilt from the 90s. They're still working properly, but they're scheduled to be rebuilt. So, that's about it. Anybody has any questions?
Does the Vlasic share in the cost for the replacing the valves?
Not on the valves, just the painting of the inside and outside, and some of the SCADA monitoring controls. They pay 50% of that.
Okay.
Yep.
One more question, the interior improvements, you were talking about this building,
Yes.
what's being done?
So a lot of cosmetic things, carpet, paint. The biggest thing will be the rearranging of the inside, the vestibule. There's gonna be a window added, a bulletproof window where people will walk in and take care of business at a window. And the offices inside will be consolidated and changed around like that, but just a lot of cosmetic updates.
Anything more than cosmetic other than the window?
I'm sorry.
Anything more than cosmetic other than the window for the check-in?
Nothing, no other major construction, just that, and there won't be any access to the two offices out here. The only access will be in from that door, and then that's how people conduct business, but mainly through that window.
At the previous commission meetings, we had discussed about having more like hard wiring in for audio video.
Yes.
Was that also gonna be?
That's included. There'll be wiring for monitors in here. We had talked about the rough wiring for cameras and stuff like that. We're gonna do that outside. Craig, myself, and the police chief have talked about just doing that outside of the scope of this project, just to make it cleaner, and get the project moving forward. And the police already work with a contractor that seems to work with what we have going on as far as all the rest of the cameras in the city, so.
Anything else? All right, thanks. We appreciate that. Okay, moving on to unfinished business,
Couple of remarks.
okay.
Haven't made any, a couple of months, so. We're looking at a different way, because the electrical pole got placed in the wrong spot. It wasn't supposed to be placed there, but there was miscommunication between the electrician and DTE. DTE said, no, that's not the way it was done, so. They're looking at possibility trenching from the main transformer place out front of the building, all the way back to the back corner of the building, and do away without going across the parking lot for J&J on the old fire hall. So that's what they're looking at in that line. We're still waiting for some information on some designs they want to do in the front. We went in and we made the bathrooms and mechanical rooms, they're all framed in, so that's ready to go there, so. And the building is locked up. If you wanna get in the building, you have to see Craig. Because the keys are all taken out and the doors, the overhead doors are all bolted shut, so. Until we get farther in, that's where we're gonna leave it, so. Any other questions? That's every time, how things are going, so. Okay. There you go.
Thanks. Okay, next we have the second reading of the zoning ordinance, text amendment to Article 1, Division 2 definitions.
Nothing's changed since the first reading at your last meeting, just for, regulation, there has to be a second reading. So if there's no questions or objections to the item B, then we can just, consider this the second reading.
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
Okay, so, we would need a motion, with the text exactly as written, correct?
Yes.
Okay, would someone like to make that motion?
A motion to accept the second reading zoning ordinance text amendment to Article 1, Division 2 definitions, Article 2, Division 2 resident zoning districts, and Division 3 commercial zoning districts, and Article 4, Division 4 special land use.
Is there a second?
Support.
Roll call, please.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Danis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Davis,
Yep.
It was a yes.
okay, Yaki,
Yes, thank you. And then next we have a second reading code of ordinance, 116.00, short-term rentals. Would anyone like to make that motion?
There haven't been any changes to that ordinance reading, has there?
No.
I make a motion to accept the second reading of the Code of Ordinances 116.00, the short-term rentals, as written.
Support.
Discussion?
I'd like to discuss short-term rental. Came up as a, that's people that can rent their house for parties wherever they want. Is that true? If you read up online about these type of rentals, they're a world of disaster. You find where there's areas that are vacation areas where people rent them for a week. But this type of rental can be used for parties. It could be parties, depending on how you do it, it could be parties for kids, it could be parties for adults, and things like people having a wedding, bring their friends in, and they have a party for the weekend. And there's so many nightmares online about this thing. I'm not sure we really want it. And should we have it, I would like to see it taxed as a business, not as a home. But I'd say, I'm against it, truly against it. And if you haven't read it, I'd like to postpone a meeting so you read up on what this is like online. I'll vote it down, either way.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second, any other discussion?
Can I make a couple points?
Absolutely.
If the commission will remember that, some time ago, a number of months ago, we came to you and said, the topic of, short-term rentals has come up. We're gonna take it to the planning commission and discuss it unless you guys tell us one way or the other. You need to tell us whether you're in favor of them or opposed to them, because we had no rule whatsoever on short-term rentals. You guys made the decision to move ahead with allowing short-term rentals. We took that to the planning commission. The planning commission worked on it and imposed police ordinances. They imposed parking restrictions. They limited it to to only five short-term rentals licenses allowed at a time. And the fact that they are licensed short-term rentals, if we get complaints and there is a party, they violated the rules and they would lose their license.
I'm sorry, I didn't do due diligence due diligence when I should have.
I'm just giving you a little history.
So, I'm just saying, it came up, and without due diligence, we went and proceeded. Since then, I've looked into it, and I think before this commission, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have it, this commission should look into it online and see the negatives of it, because I've seen a lot of negatives of it, more than positives. Other than, and I gotta tell you, my family has used rentals like this in Maine, in along the coast, west, up there. But if you read some of the nightmares that can occur of this, and they are licensed, and they are covered like ours, it's still hell for the neighbors. It's not everybody, it's the neighbors that catch the grief. And I think as we should do diligence again and look at it before we vote. That's all I'm asking. Postpone it one meeting, and let's all look at it.
Okay, at this point, we have a motion and we have a second.
Second on the floor.
I'm sorry, what?
I just said we already have a motion and a second on the floor, so.
Right, I understand. So at this point, I think we need to do a roll call vote, because we've already got a motion and a second.
Okay, Sempian,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Davis,
No.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Yaki,
Yes.
Good. I hope we don't have that.
Okay, moving on to new business, we have these, change orders. Ed, do you want to address them?
Yes, like I mentioned in the update, there was some changes we had to do on the fly. There's a list of them, most notably the west vestibule and, freeze board, like I had mentioned previously. The total with the additions and credits total $21,691.17. I recommend, approving the change order.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the change order number 1002 for the exterior of the city office building.
Is there a second?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Tanis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and then the second one is, just a progress payment. I apologize, these probably could have been put together, but, pay application 3 is a progress payment in the amount of $94,514.55. I recommend, payment.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the payment application number 3 for the city office exterior building.
Is there a second?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Tanis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
C is, pay application number 4, which includes retainage. All the punch list items have been addressed and completed. And I recommend, payment of $76,852.92.
is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we pay the application for $6,852.92.
Perhaps pay application number 4?
Yes. Let's finish it, the one that finished. Yeah, application number 4.
Is there a second?
Support.
Okay, roll call, please.
Davis, or
Yes.
excuse me, Tanis,
Yes.
sorry about that. Ramirez,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next is the trick or treat times for October 31st, 6 to 8 p.m., which is the standard normal time. I don't know that we need a motion for that.
And to allow the fire chief to sound the signal.
Oh, I guess we need a motion. Okay.
I move that we allow the trick or treat times on October 31st to occur between 6 PM to 8 PM and allow Chief Klobuchar to sound the signal.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, E, resolution 2025-17, liquor license for Sikkim, Michigan.
The applicants are here, if you'd like to.
I would.
I have no idea.
Hello.
Yeah, this application, what we're doing is we're looking at opening, business downtown here, 219 East Third. It's gonna be, Sipin, Michigan, it's basically right across from your office, almost across from Michigan. We'll be doing what we had planned on doing with the old fire hall, but this will be in this building here, we'll be serving all Michigan wines, craft beers, and ciders. We do have the Class C license purchase agreement. The ink is almost dry on it. We just couldn't quite meet up today to get the finished signature on it, but we're right there with it. And then, once we get that, then we'll put in for our small business loan. Hopefully the federal government comes back to work soon. So yeah, so this is so that we could transfer that license from the Village of North Branch down into this, local government unit.
Is that where Charlie Jack's used to be? Is that the right room? Or
Yes.
is that the right, I'm just trying to figure out which building.
Right next to the old cleaners, attached to the old cleaners.
Oh,
The
okay.
red building there. Yep.
Yeah, Charlie Jackson.
It was Charlie Jack's.
So, yep, so that's what we're, and then as I was researching a little bit more, I came across the other application for your social district. I knew it was costing me money, but I didn't realize that it had to be another resolution from you guys. So, I snuck that in here real quick, I apologize for that.
Okay, no, that's all right. So, so you're asking us to, pass both. One is the, local government approval, and that is for the liquor license, and separate to be, included in the social district.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Any more
Questions? Is there a motion?
I approve the, that we accept resolution 2025-17, liquor license for Sipin, Michigan LLC.
Support.
Okay, roll call please.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Yaki,
Yes.
thank you.
And then the second one is 2025-20, which would be, resolution to be included in the social district.
I move to approve resolution 2520 to allow them into the social district.
Support.
Roll call please.
Stempien,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Yaki,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Our second, citizens from the floor, if anyone would like to come up. No one's jumping up? Okay, we'll move on. City manager, we don't have a closed session, do we?
No closed session.
Okay, city manager report.
I have nothing additional.
Okay. City commissioner time. Nothing?
Nothing for tonight.
Okay, Stu? All right, Bob?
A couple things. I would like to, thank Ed for letting the fairgrounds shut down Berlin Road on Saturday. I had never seen that many cars for the bumper and demolition derby. They had over 100 cars registered for that event on Saturday. That was packed in there. So I'm glad they shut down while they were, that was great, so. And I would like to appreciate for my kids, my daughter got in an accident in front of McDonald's, and the fire and police and ambulance did a fantastic job. So I would like to say that, on behalf of them, so, okay.
Joe?
Again, thank you to our attendees for coming.
I'll say this about Orson's Trick or Treat, I thought it was great on Saturday. I thought it was wonderful that the chamber asked to shut down Almont and also Third Street. I think it was a whole lot safer for the little kids I also thought, it was great to have vendors. We had vendors that don't usually come to that event. We had Dazen, who was here. We had Capella Heating and Cooling from Lapeer. Those are just two that I happen to know about, and so I think that it was a wonderful idea and was well put together, and it was just a whole heck of a lot of fun to watch all those little kids in their costumes, so it was great. All right, that's all I've got. A motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, you're adjourned.
Amen.